The stars looked different from the bridge of the Heimosu. Captain Taiho Kim stood with his hands behind his back, watching the darkness of space. After 15 years in the Earth Defense Force, he still felt a chill when he looked at the endless black. Space was cold. Space was deadly. But to humans like Taiho, that was nothing new. "Captain, we have an unknown signal," said Officer Jiwoo Park. Her fingers moved quickly over the control panel. "It's coming from Sector 7. Nothing like our ships." Taiho nodded. "Show me." The main screen lit up with an image that made the bridge crew go silent. A ship, if you could call it that, moved through space toward them. It looked partly grown rather than built, with smooth curves that reminded Taiho of sea creatures from Earth's deep oceans. "Size comparison?" Taiho asked. "About 3 times bigger than us, Captain," Jiwoo said. Her voice stayed steady, but Taiho saw how she gripped the edge of her station. The Hamosu was Earth's newest defense ship. It held 60 crew members and carried weapons that could destroy a small moon. And this alien vessel made it look like a toy. "Try to contact them," Taiho ordered. "Standard greeting message." Communications Officer Daehyun Ryu sent the message Earth had prepared years ago for first contact. Simple math, basic atomic structures, and peaceful intentions. A hello card from humanity. 10 minutes passed. The alien ship came closer. "They're scanning us," said Dr. Hyun Lee, the ship's xenobiologist. The only person on the bridge who looked excited rather than worried. "Very thorough scans. They're checking everything, our hull, our engines, even our life signs." Taiho felt the hair on his neck rise. He had spent 5 years mining asteroids before joining the Earth Defense Force. In space, being scanned without permission was like having a stranger point a gun at you. It might not be an attack, but it wasn't friendly. "Shields up," he ordered. "Just in case." The alien ship stopped moving when it was about 50,000 kilometers away. Close, in space terms. "We're receiving a transmission," Daehyun said. "The computer is trying to decode it." The message came through as a series of images and sounds. The computer worked for 2 minutes before translating. A deep voice filled the bridge. "Attention, small vessel from unknown world. This is Commander Garzak of the Vraxian Dominion scout ship Venerable Hunter. Your world has been marked for inspection and classification. Prepare to be boarded for evaluation. No greeting. No questions about who they were. Just orders." Taiho looked at Dr. Hyun. "What do you make of this?" The xenobiologist frowned. "They're acting like we're not worth talking to. Like they've done this many times before." Captain Jiwoo said quietly, "Their weapon systems just activated. They're not firing, but they're ready." Taiho nodded slowly. He had dealt with bullies before, both on Earth and in the asteroid belts. Some things seemed to be the same across the universe. "Send this message," he told Daehyun. "This is Captain Taiho Kim of the Earth Defense Force vessel Himosu. We greet the Vraxian Dominion as equals and welcome peaceful contact. However, we do not allow boarding without agreement. We suggest talking first." The reply came back almost instantly. "There is no need for discussion. Your species will be evaluated and your world classified. Resistance is not advised. The Vraxian Dominion has processed 17 systems before yours. All now exist peacefully under our protection." Dr. Hyun's eyes widened. 17 systems? They're an empire." "Captain," Jiwoo called out. "They've launched smaller ships. 4 of them, heading toward us." Taiho made his decision. "Move us back. Keep distance. Send another message. We insist on proper diplomatic contact before any boarding. We will defend our ship if necessary." The smaller ships kept coming. "No response to our message," Daehyun reported. "They don't think we're worth talking to," Dr. Hyun said. "From their scans, they probably think we're primitive." A new transmission came through, this time with visual. The screen showed a being that made several crew members gasp. The alien stood at least 3 meters tall, with gray-green skin that looked as tough as armor. Its 4 eyes were set in a face that reminded Taiho of Earth's ancient predators. When it opened its mouth to speak, rows of sharp teeth flashed. "Attention, Earth vessel. I am Commander Garzak. Your world has been scanned and classified as a Class 12 death world, technically habitable but extremely hostile to advanced life. It is surprising that sapient beings evolved in such conditions. You will not be harmed if you comply. Your species will be studied and relocated to a more suitable world. Your planet will be preserved as a natural reserve. Dr. Hyun actually laughed. They think Earth is too dangerous for us. They don't understand that we evolved there. It's perfect for us. Death world? Jiwoo asked, confused. From their perspective, Dr. Hyun explained, Earth must seem terribly dangerous. Our gravity, our oxygen levels, our bacteria, our predators. To them, we live in a nightmare. Taiho understood then. These aliens thought they were saving humans from Earth, not understanding that Earth had made humans what they were. The smaller ships were almost upon them now. Final warning, Taiho said. Send this. Commander Garzak, we respect your civilization, but we will not allow boarding without proper diplomatic procedures. Earth is our home, not a death world. We thrive there. We request peaceful talks between equals. The alien commander's response was dismissive. Equals. Your species evolved on a Class 12 death world. You cannot be our equals. The universe has a natural order, and the Vraxian dominion stands at its peak. We have evolved on the harshest known world in charted space. No species matches our biological perfection. Their smaller ships are preparing to attach to our hull, Jiwoo reported. They'll break through in minutes if we let them. Taiho stood, straighter. Target their engines only. Warning shots. The Himosu's weapons fired, precise beams of energy passing just in front of the approaching ships. It was the universal sign to stop. The smaller ships kept coming. They think we're bluffing, Taiho said. Or they think our weapons can't hurt them. He made the hardest choice of his career. Disable the lead ship's engines. Careful shot. The weapons officer Min Jun Cho targeted with expert precision. A single shot hit the lead alien ship's propulsion system. The craft spun out of control, its engines dark. The bridge went silent as they waited for the reaction. On the screen, Commander Garzak's 4 eyes blinked in what looked like shock. For several seconds, he said nothing. When he spoke again, his voice had changed. You damaged our ship? Impossible. Your technology should not be capable of this. A Class 12 world cannot produce such weapons. We told you, Taiho replied calmly. Earth is not a death world to us. It's home. And we've been building ships and weapons for a long time. The remaining 3 small ships stopped their approach. Return to peaceful positions, Taiho continued, and we can start proper talks. We have no desire for conflict. Commander Garzak seemed to be struggling with what was happening. This defies all known patterns. No species has ever resisted initial contact protocols. Taiho allowed himself a small smile. Perhaps it's time to update your protocols, Commander. Humans don't like being boarded without permission. Now shall we start again as equals? The Vraxian commander's face showed confusion, then something that might have been respect. Very well, Captain Taiho Kim. The Vraxian Dominion acknowledges your unexpected capabilities. We will withdraw to a neutral position and establish proper communication channels. As the alien ships retreated, Dr. Hyun turned to Taiho. Captain, do you understand what just happened? They've conquered 17 star systems, and we're the first to stand up to them. Taiho nodded slowly. And they called Earth a death world. They have no idea what humans are capable of. Should we warn Earth? Jiwoo asked. Yes, Taiho said. Tell them everything. I think this is just the beginning. On the main screen, the massive alien ship moved back to a safer distance. Taiho had a feeling that the galaxy was about to change forever, and humans, the Deathworlders that nobody expected, would be the ones changing it. June was a simple mechanic on board the human outpost ship Horizon Nest. He didn't like loud places or big crowds. He liked quiet. He liked his tools. He liked clean clothes. His job was to fix broken parts of the ship, from pipes to power cables. He worked hard, stayed out of trouble, and never expected anything exciting to happen in his life. But that changed the day the Beastwoman arrived. The ship had landed on a small jungle planet called Arcanus 3. It was a stop for repairs and resupply. The planet was humid, green, and full of strange animals. Most of the crew stayed on board. Only a few teams went down to explore. June stayed in the engine room, like always. He didn't like unknown places. He liked known things like wires, bolts, and control panels. But after 2 days, things started to get weird. It started small. June returned from the shower to find his shirt missing. Just one shirt. He thought maybe he left it somewhere. He didn't worry. The next day, his socks disappeared. That made him frown. Then his entire locker was opened and 3 shirts were gone. His favorites. Who steals socks? He muttered, shaking his head. He told his friend Hannah, a quiet systems engineer who worked nearby. You think someone's playing a joke? She asked. I don't joke, June said. And I don't like people touching my things. Hannah shrugged. Maybe it's just some crew member with strange tastes. But June didn't believe that. Something felt odd. There were no signs of forced entry, no alarms, no clues. Just the faint smell of earth, leaves, and something sharp, something like metal and rain. The next night he stayed awake. He hid behind the lockers, watching. Hours passed, nothing moved. He was about to fall asleep when he heard something. Soft footsteps, not like boots. Bare feet, clawed, light. Then she appeared. She wasn't human, not fully. She stood tall, maybe 2 meters, and her skin was smooth and gray-blue. Her arms were long, and from her back spread strange wings. They were like webs, thin, see-through, but strong-looking. Her face had some human shape, but her nose was small and flat, and her eyes were huge and golden. Her hair was dark and messy, full of little beads and leaves. She crouched in front of his locker, opened it gently, and pulled out a folded shirt. Then, to June's shock, she brought it to her nose and sniffed it. Slowly, deeply. June gasped. The Beastwoman froze, their eyes met. She let out a low growl, not angry, just surprised. Then she hissed, leaped back, and her wings spread wide. In a flash, she was gone, up the ceiling panels, into the vents. June stood there, stunned. A shirt lay on the floor. She had dropped it. The next morning, he told Hannah everything. She blinked. She sniffed your shirt? Yes. And then ran away? Yes. Hannah rubbed her temples. You're telling me there's a winged alien sneaking into the ship to smell your laundry? June frowned. I know what I saw. To his surprise, Hannah didn't laugh. She just nodded slowly. I heard some people from the science team talking. They said they saw something flying near the ship's roof. Maybe this isn't just in your head. That made June feel better. Not much. Just a bit. He checked the ship's cameras, but they were no help. The strange visitor always came during blind spots. It was like she knew where the eyes were, smart, silent. That evening, June set a small trap. He left out one of his cleanest shirts folded neatly on the floor near the locker. Then he hid behind the tool shelves, holding his breath. An hour passed, then another. At last, movement. She came again, crawling silently through the vent and dropping to the floor. Her nose twitched. She sniffed the air. Then she walked toward the shirt. June didn't move. The Beastwoman picked up the shirt. This time, she didn't just sniff it. She rubbed her cheek against it. Gently, carefully. Her golden eyes closed like she was comforted. June whispered, Why, my clothes? Her eyes snapped open. She looked straight at him. But this time she didn't run. Instead, she stood tall and folded her wings behind her. She didn't speak, but her head tilted, curious. June slowly stepped out. He didn't want to scare her. He held up his hands. Hello, he said. She blinked. My name is June. Still no answer. She sniffed again. Then, carefully, she touched her chest. Ahra, she said in a low voice. June was surprised. She could speak. A little. Ahra, he repeated. She nodded. He pointed at the shirt she held. Why? My clothes? Ahra didn't answer. Instead, she stepped closer. She sniffed his shoulder, then his neck. June froze, unsure what to do. Her nose wrinkled slightly, like she was thinking. Then she said something strange in her own language. A series of clicks and soft hums June didn't understand, but her tone was gentle. Not angry. Okay, he said softly. Okay. Ahra stepped back. She held the shirt like a prize. Then, with a small smile, she disappeared again. Back into the vents the next day, June told Hana again. She said her name is Ara, and she sniffed you again? Yeah, Hana raised an eyebrow. You have a fan. She's not a fan, June said, but he wasn't so sure. I think she's studying me. Or maybe my smell. Maybe she's a scout, or looking for something familiar. Then why take my shirts? Hana thought about that. Scent. Memory, maybe. Some animals use it to remember, to feel safe. June nodded. That made sense. Sort of. Still strange, though. He started leaving clean clothes out every night, just one shirt. Ahra came every time. She always sniffed it. Sometimes she smiled. Sometimes she made soft sounds. Once, she even left something in return. A small, glowing feather from her wing. June kept it in his locker. He didn't know what Ahra wanted or why she liked his scent. But one thing was clear. She wasn't just a thief. She was trying to say something. And June had a feeling this was only the beginning. The next night, June found something strange on his bed. It was not a shirt or sock, not something missing. It was something new. It was a folded piece of smooth, silvery cloth, thinner than paper but warm to the touch. It shimmered slightly under the room light, changing colors like oil in water. On top of the cloth sat another feather. Long, soft, glowing faint blue. Ahra, June whispered. He looked around the room, half expecting her to be watching. But she wasn't there. Hana came in an hour later. She was carrying a tablet and a snack. What's that? She asked, pointing to the shiny cloth. I think it's a gift, June said. From your winged visitor? He nodded. It was on my bed. Hana touched the fabric. Her eyes widened. This isn't anything human-made. This could be a kind of organic weave, maybe even alive. June held the feather. She keeps bringing me these. Hana looked worried. This is getting serious. We should report this. To who? June asked. The captain? Yes. No, he said quickly. They'll lock her up. Or worse. Hana sighed. June, you're getting involved with something we don't understand. I know, he said. But she hasn't hurt anyone. She's not dangerous. That we know of. June didn't reply. Instead, he folded the cloth and put it safely in his locker, next to the other feathers. That night, he waited again in the shadows. Ara came, as usual. But this time she didn't go straight to the shirt. She moved slowly, eyes glowing gold. In the dark, June stepped out. Ahra, he said. She paused, then gave a small nod. He held up his hands. Thank you. For the gift. She tilted her head. Safe, she said softly. Safe? She came closer, then pointed to her chest, then to his. You smell safe. June tried not to blush. Thank you? She looked serious. Her voice grew lower. Others? Not safe. June frowned. Others? She looked toward the wall, toward the outside of the ship. Her wings fluttered once. They come, soon. That gave June chills. Who comes? Ara didn't answer. Instead, she leaned forward, sniffed his collar again, and whispered something in her language. Then she turned and climbed back into the vent, fast and quiet like a shadow. June stared at the vent long after she left. The next morning, alarms rang. Through the ship, June jumped from bed and rushed to the hallway. Red lights flashed, people were running. Unknown life forms detected near the perimeter. shouted a voice over the speaker. June's stomach dropped. He met Hana in the control room. You heard it? She asked. He nodded. Something's out there. Security teams are going down to check. I'm going too. Hana grabbed his arm. You're a mechanic. She warned me, he said. What? Ara. She said others come soon. Hana looked shocked. You think they're connected? June didn't answer. He just followed the armed team heading to the airlock. They stepped out into the thick green jungle. The heat was heavy, and the air was full of strange sounds, chirps, clicks, buzzing. June followed behind the soldiers, watching the trees. Everything was too quiet. Then came the attack. Dark shapes dropped from the trees, fast, sharp insect-like creatures with long limbs and glowing red eyes. The soldiers shouted, opened fire. Blue energy blasts lit up the jungle. Screams filled the air. June ducked behind a rock. One of the creatures landed near him, hissing. Its long tongue flicked out. It moved forward. Then, thwack. A blur shot through the air. A figure slammed into the creature, wings spread wide. It was Ara. She roared, claws flashing, and threw the beast away from June. It hit a tree and didn't move. Ara turned to June. Go, she barked. Bad ones. June scrambled to his feet. What are they? Ahra growled. Hunters. Smell weakness. June's chest hurt. You came to protect me? Ahra nodded. You smell strong. They hate strong. June looked at the fallen insect creature. It was still twitching. Ara grabbed his hand. Run. They ran through the jungle, away from the fight. June could barely keep up. Her wings didn't let her fly, but they helped her glide from tree to tree, moving like wind. At last, they reached a small cliff. Below was a deep valley filled with glowing plants and tall stone towers. Clearly ancient, clearly alien. Ara led him inside. This is your home? June asked, panting. Old nest. Not mine. Lost place, Ahra said. The walls were smooth and curved, filled with carvings that glowed faintly. Ahra stopped in front of a round stone. She pressed her hand to it. A map appeared, holographic, filled with stars. June stared. Ahra pointed to a small red dot. They come from here, bad sky, then to a green dot. You come from here. June nodded slowly. Earth, Ahra pointed to herself. Watcher. Watcher? She placed her hand over his heart again. Safe, strong. June's head spun. Are you trying to say humans are different? Ahra gave a single, slow nod. You fight. You protect. You feel. June looked at her. And the hunters? They take. No feel, no soul. Suddenly the map blinked. Red lights spread toward the green dot. They will come, Ahra said. Not just here, your world too. June swallowed hard. We need to stop them. Ahra's eyes locked on his. Together, he nodded. Together. She gave a small smile. Then she pulled something from her belt, a silver band like a bracelet. She placed it in his hand. Call me, when need. He looked down. How does it work? She tapped her ear. Think. Feel. I hear. June held the band tightly. Thank you. Ahra stepped back, wings fluttering. No thank. Just promise. Promise. Don't let your kind forget to feel. Then, she turned and leapt into the night, disappearing into the jungle again. June stood in the ancient hall, heart pounding. The hunters were real. The warning was clear. But so was the message. Humans were not just smart. They were not just fast. They were felt. And that made them strong. He looked at the silver band in his hand. It was time to prove that humanity deserved to be watched, and to fight back. The ship's alarms blared all night. June barely slept. The thought of the hunters returning made his heart race. But he also felt something new. Hope. Ahra was with them now. She had shown him that humans had something special. Feeling. And feeling meant strength. The next morning, Captain Lee called a meeting. The ship's crew gathered in the main hall. June stood beside Hana and Ara. The Beastwoman's webbed wings were folded neatly behind her back. Her golden eyes watched. The humans carefully. Captain Lee spoke first. We face a new enemy. The hunters are not just animals. They are dangerous, fast, and strong. But they fear what humans have: feeling, courage, and hope. We will fight them with more than weapons. We will fight with our hearts. June felt a chill. He had never heard the captain talk like this before. Hana stepped forward. We have new technology, but we also have something old: trust and care for each other. If we stand together, we can stop the hunters. Ara nodded. I will teach you. June looked at her, curious. Teach us what? Ara spread her wings and smiled faintly. How to feel the forest, the wind, the earth. How to listen to the heart. For the next days, the crew trained hard. Ahra showed them how to move quietly like the jungle creatures. She taught them to breathe slowly, to calm their minds, and to feel the energy around them. June found this strange. He was used to machines and facts. But now he tried to listen to his feelings: fear, hope, anger, and love. He saw how it made him stronger, sharper, and faster. One evening as the sun set, Ahra took June and Hana deep into the jungle. They reached a clearing with ancient trees and glowing flowers. This place is old, Ahra said. It is the heart of the forest. June looked around. He felt calm here, connected to something bigger. Ahra sat down and closed her eyes. Feel with me, she whispered. June and Hana sat beside her. They closed their eyes and tried to listen to the wind, the leaves, the quiet life. Suddenly, June heard a soft hum. It was not from the machines. It was from inside him. He opened his eyes. Hana smiled. I feel it too. Ahra opened her eyes. Good. You learn. June asked, Will this help us fight the hunters? Ahra nodded. Yes. When you fight with feeling, you are stronger than any weapon. That night, the ship's alarms rang again. The hunters were attacking. June, Hana, and the security team rushed to the gates. The creatures were fast and fierce. Their red eyes shone in the dark. But this time, the humans were ready. June moved with calm and confidence. He felt the fear, but did not let it control him. He aimed carefully, fired when sure. Hana blocked and dodged, using what Ara had taught her. Ara flew above the fight, her wings catching the light. She roared and struck with claws and teeth. The hunters growled but slowed. They sensed something new, a strong heart beating in the humans. One hunter charged June. He froze for a moment but remembered Ara's words. He focused on feeling, on courage, not fear. He dodged the strike and pushed the hunter back. The fight was hard. Many hunters attacked at once, but the humans stood firm. At last, the hunters retreated into the jungle, defeated but not gone. The crew cheered. They had won the battle. Captain Lee clapped June on the shoulder. You have done well, we all have. June smiled, tired but proud. He looked at Ahra. Thank you. Ahra nodded. You fight well. But the war is not over. June asked, What now? Ahra looked serious. We must find the source, the place where the hunters come from. June frowned. Where is that? Ahra pointed to the stars. Far. Dangerous, Captain Lee spoke. Then we prepare, we find their home, we end this. The crew worked day and night, fixing the ship, gathering supplies, and training more. June kept practicing feeling, with the forest, with the people, and with himself. One night he stood on the ship's deck and looked at the stars. Ara came beside him. Are you afraid? She asked. June shook his head. No, I am ready. She smiled. Good, because this is only the beginning. The ship was ready. June stood on the bridge, watching the stars blur as they jumped into faster-than-light travel. The red dot on the map, Ara's warning, was getting closer. The home of the hunters. Hana was at his side, calm but alert. Ahra sat quietly nearby, her wings folded but her eyes shining with determination. Captain Lee gave the order. Prepare for arrival. The ship slowed as it entered a strange system. The stars here were different, some larger, some flickering, in colors June had never seen. On the main screen, a large asteroid field appeared. In the center was a huge fortress built into a giant rock. That's it, Ahra said softly. Hunter nest. June's heart beat fast. This was the place the hunters came from. This was where the fight would end. The captain's voice broke the silence. All hands, prepare for battle. This is not a simple fight. It is a war. The crew moved quickly. Weapons charged, shields raised, scanners active. June put on his helmet and checked his rifle. Hana did the same. Ahra stretched her wings. I will lead. The ship flew through the asteroid field carefully. Hunters appeared on the radar, swarming like angry bees. Suddenly the ship was hit. Alarms blared. The hull shook. Shields holding. Captain Lee said, "Return fire!" Blue beams shot out, striking hunter ships. Explosions lit the dark space. June fired his rifle from the gun turret. The hunters were fast, but the humans were faster. Ahra's voice came over the radio. I'm going down. You follow. June felt a chill but nodded. Ahra's small ship dropped out of the main ship and dove toward the asteroid. June and Hana followed in a small fighter. They landed on the rocky surface near the fortress. The ground was cold and cracked, covered with dark crystals that glowed faint red. Suddenly, hunters appeared from the shadows, their claws sharp, their eyes glowing red. June raised his rifle. Hana held her energy baton. Ahra flew above, screaming battle cries. The hunters attacked in waves. June fought hard, using everything Ahra had taught him. Calm, feeling, courage. Hana blocked a strike and knocked a hunter down. Ahra moved like wind, tearing through enemies with her claws. But the hunters were many and they were strong. June was knocked down by a heavy blow. Pain exploded in his side. Hana helped him up. Keep moving. They fought their way to the fortress entrance. Inside, the air was thick and heavy. Strange machines hummed, and dark shapes moved in the shadows. They reached a large chamber where a huge creature waited. It was the hunter leader, tall, dark, with glowing red wings and eyes like fire. The creature roared. You should not have come. June stood firm. We came to end this. The leader attacked, fast and powerful. June dodged and fired his rifle. But the creature was strong. Ahra flew in and scratched the leader's face. It hissed but did not. Stop. Hana used her baton to strike the creature's leg. The fight was fierce. The leader seemed unstoppable. But then, June remembered Ahra's words. Fight with feeling. Fight with your heart. He closed his eyes for a moment and felt the courage inside him. His love for his friends, his hope for peace, his will to protect. He opened his eyes, calm and strong. He charged forward and struck the leader with all his strength. The creature faltered. Ahra and Hana attacked together. With one last roar, the leader fell. The room grew quiet. June looked around. The hunters were gone. Ahra landed beside him, breathing hard. We won, she said softly. June smiled. Yes, because we fought with our hearts. Captain Lee's voice came through the radio. Well done. Prepare to return home. Back on the ship, the crew cheered. June looked at Ahra. Will you stay with us? He asked. Ahra smiled. I watch over you, always. The ship flew back toward Earth. June knew the hunters might return someday, but now humans were ready. They had something no hunter could take, the strength of feeling, and that was the greatest power of all.